The Speaking Statements, the podcast of statements about the 50 U.S. states. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for alerts for when a new episode is released.
Hello, listeners. We have a guest here to talk about Wisconsin. I want to introduce my aunt Rachel Kesting to be on my podcast today. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Julian. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I know you're excited. I've got some questions about Wisconsin for you.
I'm ready.
Right. My first question is, what do you like about Wisconsin and why?
I think what I like the most about Wisconsin is all of the natural beauty here. There's lots of lakes and forests, woods, also prairies and rivers. And I know you know this, but I like bird watching. So Wisconsin's on a major bird migration flyway. So I really like that about Wisconsin. But I also like that it's not too hot here in the summer. And I like the winters. I like the seasons. And I think the people here are really great.
Yeah, the people in the Midwest are very nice.
Yeah.
My second question is, what kind of foods are popular in Wisconsin?
Well, you might have heard this already, but Wisconsin is known for how much cheese it makes and all of the cheese that comes out of Wisconsin. So apparently 90% of the milk that comes from dairy cows in Wisconsin goes into making cheese. So cheese, and specifically cheese curds, which is made during the process of making cheese, and also custard, bratwurst, of course, beer, and fish fries.
Ooh, I did not know that. My third question is, do you know any slightly odd facts about Wisconsin?
I did some research for this question. So we know about the Wisconsin likes cheese and it's known for making cheese, but Wisconsin also makes about 90 or 60% of the nation's cranberries. So we make a lot of cranberries. And then the other, I think a cool odd thing about Wisconsin is that there's lots of like names of cities and rivers that are different, I feel like, than other states. Like we have Milwaukee is called Milwaukee, and we have a city called Oconomowoc. And those names come from the indigenous folks that have been living in Wisconsin for over 12,000 years. So there's a really rich culture of indigenous folks who live here, the Menominee, the Ojibwe, the Ho-Chunk, the Potawatomi, the Kickapoo, and they've given us a lot of really cool names like Wauwatosa, Waukesha, Oconomowoc. So I think that's really cool.
My fourth question is, can you tell me about the Great Lakes that border Wisconsin?
I sure can. Well, there's Lake Michigan, which borders Wisconsin and some of Illinois. And I grew up about a mile from Lake Michigan. So it affects the weather a lot if you live close to the lake. And also, apparently, Lake Michigan is the Midwest capital of surfing. I bet you didn't know that. And then northern Wisconsin, there's Lake Superior.
Yeah, I do know it borders two Great Lakes. My fifth question is, what do Wisconsin and Illinois have in common?
They're both in the Midwest. So they're both Midwest states. I know that the Mississippi River is on the west of both states. So we share that river. And we also share Lake Michigan a little bit.
Yeah. Although I do think Wisconsin borders more Lake Michigan than Illinois does.
It does. It does. But we share those things. And I think we also share a very strong enthusiasm for sports. The teams have strong rivalries. I think the people are pretty like similar in just being Midwestern kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My last and sixth question is, if someone new came to Wisconsin, what would you recommend?
Ooh. If they liked going to cities and trying like new food and like experiencing cities, I'd recommend going to Milwaukee and Madison. If they liked outdoor adventures, the Apostle Islands in northern Wisconsin are really cool to visit. They are in Lake Superior, so that's really cool. I know the Wisconsin Dells has a lot of like indoor and outdoor water parks. That's a big deal. And Green Bay, Wisconsin has a lot there as well, including like the Packers. And so I think it depends what they like to do.
Yeah, that's a really good answer. Well, I'm done with my questions. We're glad to have you on my podcast to talk about Wisconsin.
Thank you so much, Julian.
Bye.
Bye.
And now I'll do my notes about Wisconsin. It became a state in 1848. It's shaped like a big mitten. Illinois is to the south. Minnesota and Iowa are to the west. And also borders Lake Superior and Lake Michigan and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. The biggest cities are Madison, Green Bay, Racine, Kenosha. Milwaukee is the biggest city. The capital is Madison. Harry Houdini, a famous magician known for his amazing escape acts, grew up in Appleton, Wisconsin. Georgia O'Keeffe, a famous artist, was born in Sun Prairie. Indigenous people have been living in Wisconsin for thousands of years, just like my aunt said. The nickname is the Badger State, and the abbreviation is WI. Besides badger, there are black bears, moose, white-tailed deer, muskats, porcupine, and flying squirrels in Wisconsin. Wisconsin birds include woodpeckers, eastern bluebirds, purple finches, and red-winged blackbirds. And now do the fast facts to Leo. Give it a go, Leo. It's all yours. What is the state key? It's the sugar maple. What is the state flower? It's the wood violet. What is the state bird? It's the robin. What is the state animal? It's a badger. What is the state peace symbol? The state peace symbol is a mourning dove. What is the state insect? Would be the honeybee. What is the state grain? Probably corn. What is the state beverage? The state beverage is milk. What is the state dance? Unusual polka. What is the state dog? An American Water Spaniel. What is the state fish? That would be a muskellunge. What is the state? Do we have any more? Nope, Leo. We're done. Bye. Bye. And last but not least, we have the Wisconsin quarter, which is a cow, a corn, and a cheese wheel, and a banner that says forward. That's all for today, but check in next week for the second to last intro of season 6. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Speaking Statements.